Let's get it on!
Sprawl and brawl, ground and pound. Get ready for an MMA showdown. Now, the ultimate Octagon Insider, Sean and Tristan Ducross.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Tristan Ducross. On my side, as always, my brother, Sean Ducross. We are the Sports Warriors. It is fight week out here in the I.E Fight Night. Showdown is going to go live May 12th in Ontario. So if you haven't got your tickets, you're done for that one, because stacked card, 16 fights. We got some, like, 3 people that are crossing over from pancration to MMA. We got debuters, you name it, barn burners. We even got one of the barn burners that's actually sitting on the couch scared right now. Larry Sosa is in the building. I don't know if he wants to talk or not, but he's here. See? Baddest dude going wire to wire at the last I.E Fight Night. I can guarantee you there's going to be another one on this card. Edgar Martinez in the building, in the Warriors Den with the brothers also. See, something that we do, that we're gradually starting to grow, is that we are giving back to the amateur circle. We are doing more for the amateur fighters, giving them a platform, and actually to shake off their jitters a little bit, right, Sosa?
Yeah.
Edgar Martinez joining us. Big, huge fight coming up over the weekend.
Just to pop the cherry a little bit, I have to ask Edgar Martinez one quick question is, so how many times do you get asked, are you the baseball player when nobody knows exactly who you are yet?
Honestly, it happens maybe 3 to 4 times a week. To be honest with you, it really does. I start a job, or because I do a diesel mechanic business out in Long Beach. Every time I get a new client, they're always like the baseball player? Are you his son? Are you his son? But me and my dad actually own a business together, so that's Pops right there. But I do get that question a lot, though. I definitely do.
So your Pops?
He accidentally pointed. He accidentally pointed at you, so everybody's gonna go, wait. There's something weird about that.
I'm his daddy, but that's not personal life. It's not personal life.
Only here on the Sports Warriors do we actually get to have a good time and enjoy what we do. Edgar Sosa, May 12th, you're making your debut. Why now? What made the transition over to now?
Be honest with you, I was a little bit nervous at first. Talked to Coach Danny Navarro over at Team Ironman, and he was like, February, you're not quite there yet. I want to get you in there. I want to make sure that you're going to definitely have something. Going to strengthen up that right hand, that left, that combination, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu, bring the whole game together. And we talked right before this card, and he was like, May 12th, you're ready. Trust me, you're going to be ready. So this past month or so, sharpening the tools and definitely getting it popping, though. It's going to be a good one.
So when you said that you wanted to originally, you thought that you were going to fight on the February card, what was the mindset that made them think, not now, but this fight, yes?
Honestly, I think it was more of like a maturity thing, making sure I can turn that switch on. As soon as that cage door locks, I want to make sure I turn to the animal I know I can be. I've been in a bunch of street fights, and it's a different type of thing, You do get those nerves, and you're like, oh, no, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. But this, you know what's going to happen. It's you. It's him. Once that cage door closes, like I said, I don't know if I can live up to the hype that this guy put on, but I definitely want to put on a good show. And Bro Brooks, he's gonna have one coming in for him.
As long as you come in with that confident and the ability to wanting to put on a show for the fight, for the fans, that's all that matters. Because I think that night back in February when Larry Sosa made his debut, and he put on that fight and stood there toe-to-toe when many guys wouldn't do that at that young of an age. I think if you go in that mentality, you're going to get the fan base. And I think everybody erupted that night when Sosa went to war. I think if you go in with that mindset, the fans at the California Education Center is going to be there, and it's going to erupt just as much as they did for that guy.
Yeah, most definitely. Like you've seen for his fight, they were standing toe-to-toe in the center of the octagon, like that, like Max Holloway and Ricardo Lamas. Remember that? Pointing at the center of the cage, you started throwing bombs.
How about Diego Sanchez and Gilbert Melendez, where basically Gilbert Melendez's career went to die?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. I know this one's going to be good, though. I promise you.
Larry Sosa, look alive. You're on the camera, boy. You look like you're gonna pass out.
He's hyperventilating a little bit.
Right?
I don't know what to say.
Where's the Modelo? Give me a Modelo. I'll crack that open for Larry Sosa. Give him to loosen up a little bit. Here.
And he's got the bottle opener.
There you go. Loosen up a little bit.
Only on the Sports Warriors we give our guests a Modelo to loosen up a little bit.
Slam it.
So when you got this fight against Bo Brooks, he's lost his last 3 fights. He lost his last fight against Robert Duran, who in our circle is a beast in itself as well. What have you seen in his game that made you go, okay, you know what, I need to focus a little bit more going into camp for him?
I noticed his jiu-jitsu game's pretty good. I've seen, no disrespect, but I've seen guys that are definitely better from our camp. And I know he doesn't like to be hit at all. As soon as he gets touched, he covers up, he tries to shy away, and I'm definitely going to go in there. I'm going to put some hands on him.
So have you been doing a lot of research on Brooks?
Most
figure it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, that Rubik's Cube and stuff is figured out after his first win. That's why his last 3 fights haven't gone the way he wanted it to. But, needless to say, fighters are going to change. They're going to evolve with every single fight. So
Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard anybody ever use that analogy before.
It's something different. You'll get that out of me. I do a lot of different things. But, yeah, as far as Bo, he doesn't like to be hit. He's going to shell up, and he's going down.
So you sound like you want to stand and throw down with them.
I'll stand with him. I'll throw hands with him. I'll go to the floor with him. I'll do whatever he wants to do. But I promise you, I'm going to be the one dominating this fight.
Check this guy out. He is Sosa, but
Sosa light?
Yeah, because he talks.
Sosa
he's not
doesn't, right?
It's like if we could get those two mirrored together. I mean, you got 2 beasts on your hands, no question asked.
About that action, boss.
So Sosa needs to be Edgar, and Edgar needs to be Sosa. That's what we got going on right now.
A nice little combination blend right there. But that leaves me to talk about that. I'm kind of missing something here because you were supposed to be our bartender today.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I left work. I came straight over here. I had to, change up a little bit. I didn't want to come all dirty and full of grease. I got you guys the brewskis, though. I did bring those.
I gave my Modelo to Larry Sosa to make him wake up.
I'll bring you guys another 6-pack. I promise. I got you guys. I got you.
Well, Larry Sosa, you're here, buddy. Do you have a fight coming up? Like, what's going on with you right now?
In July. I'm going to be on the July card.
That's it?
That's it. You mean just keep training and get better?
Nobody wants to fight you?
I don't know that. I don't know.
I think they're afraid to be hit.
Right?
This boy, I mean, look at his hands. Look at my hands compared to his hands. You know what I'm saying? He's got bricks for hands.
And he's talking about going down to your weight class.
Down to my weight class. So if I can hit some of these guys, I can rock them. He's going to be putting people to sleep. I promise you. Yeah.
You're walking around at 150, 155. Yeah. And you want to get down to 125.
Yeah. But
why?
Well, the height's different. You mean just...
That's the biggest
thing. Oh, why? You don't want to fight the 6-foot guys?
No, it's not me. I felt even the last opponent, I forgot his name, but I felt like that was even tall. Because even guys at the gym, not all of them that tall. Like, Edgar's one of the tallest guys there. Besides Tony. You guys remember Tony?
Yep.
Yeah, he's the tallest one. But Tony's at 145. So that's why I believe I don't want to fight guys that tall. I'm not good at that range.
When you're talking about the height difference, I think that's the biggest thing that we deal with now in mixed martial arts is the fact that, yeah, you know what, weight cutting is so horrible in so many aspects, but it's like almost by default, when you're in this fight game, it seems like sometimes you don't have an option because of the height difference. You don't want to fight a guy who's like standing 2-3 inches over you when you could fight a guy who's about your level, but you may pack more power. And I don't think everybody quite understands that aspect of the fight game too. Like, I'm quick to say, like, dude, weight cutting sucks. Fighters shouldn't have to weight cut. But then I sit back and I look back, it's like, yeah, they weight cut because, like you just said, why do you want to face a guy who's 6 feet?
Well, not even that, is how strong they are too.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go in there 170-pounder. It's my height. It's going to hit a lot.
Do you not understand how much power you had behind your hands when you were fighting at the last fight? Like, there was a couple of times, both Lorenz Larkin was literally sitting right next to me. Sean's right next to me. We're calling the fight. And every crack you landed on him, we could hear it. And both Lorenz and Larkin and I turned to each other and went like, how is he still standing?
Like, we couldn't figure out how the dude that was still in front of you was still standing during that whole entire fight. That was probably the craziest fight.
I personally was sitting like a few rows back, and I heard that crack. As soon as I heard it, me and my fiance, we looked at each other like, oh shit, like this dude has some bangers. Like, I've sparred with him in the gym. He's rocked me before, and I've just been like, okay, I'm not trying to stand across from this dude in the gym, you know, or sorry, in the cage. But no, when I heard it from that glove, just I was like, oh,
yeah, because we never really sparred with MMA gloves. I never fought with MMA gloves. That was the second time I ever put them on.
Really?
So I practice or anything, like actually full on. So that was the first time me hitting somebody like that. So
how did you get into MMA then if that was only the second time?
Well, MMA gloves, but yeah. I've been fighting my whole life. This fighting, I'm not gonna say much, but yeah, just been fighting. So
we can dig up the past a little bit.
You could, but yeah, so that's why I brought me to MMA, because I'd rather fight in the cage than fight in the streets and get in trouble.
See, and that's one thing I was talking to him, and I even mentioned to David is I tend to sound like almost a broken record at times when I'm talking to amateur fighters or MMA fighters for that matter, because I can't say it enough, is that in this field, you look for, as an athlete, somebody to look up to, and always are looking for that next person. Oh yeah, you know what? That guy's a good head on his shoulders. And you're looking for kids to look for role models. And in a lot of sports, there is not a lot of role models. Straight up, there just isn't. There isn't a lot in MMA. But at least you can relate to about 90% of fighters in MMA, one way or another, from their upbringing or whatever it may be, of why they do what they do, why they're here. Clearly, it sounds like you would be one of them. You don't want to open up about it? That's cool, but that's another evolution of what's so unique about the fight game. That, dude, you can come from a broken home. You can come from a beat up area or street fights out in the street like Kimbo Slice did.
Exactly.
As long as you put your faith forward, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. We may not have the best upbringing. We don't get paid to do what we do, but we love what we do because we love to get the message out there. And that's one thing I was telling him is like, everybody that is on this fight card, top to bottom that we've spoken to this past week, all had unique stories like, dude, they need to come on the show. They need to talk. David Bramlette sent us a guy that's a pastor that has fought before. Right? That's what I said.
Oh, damn.
Yes. That just furthers the story.
Let me pull my cross out.
But that just furthers the story of mixed martial arts that I don't think people completely grasp, that I enjoy doing what we do, is because, like, yeah, you know what? You may come from a broken home, but why does that have to affect you? You may not make the most money, but at the end of the day, is it what you want to do? Do you love what you do?
Exactly.
That's all that matters. What is it? I have it tattooed on my chest. It ain't how bad. It ain't how hard you get hit. It's how big you get back up and keep going forward. Mm-hmm. That's so true. You guys are a prime example. Everybody else on this fight card that I've had to talk to is a prime example and has a unique story. And how many people have we spoken to this week? We got 8 people that we've spoken to so far? Like, good Lord. The stories are endless. And if anybody's out there is wondering why we're talking so highly about Sosa, go back, look up I.E Fight Night.
February 24th.
Look at that fight that we call with Larry Sosa.
Main event.
You'll understand why he's a hot commodity when it comes to amateur MMA and why you need to know who this kid is. Yeah, he lost his first fight, but by God, remember his name.
Yeah, I think he himself, his heart, his chin, just his will, from seeing it every day in the gym to seeing it on the 24th of February, just like you said on your tattoo. You know, it's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. He took a few shots. We all seen it. But what did he do? He bit down on that mouthpiece. He threw it right back at him.
Or no mouthpiece for that matter?
No mouthpiece, exactly, when it came out. Exactly.
He's like, God dang, how the heck do you guys remember all this? He's over there sitting like...
I know.
Yeah. He's like, you guys remember more about that fight than I remember that fight.
Yeah.
He was going, getting his
Yeah,
hands wrapped, and walking out like, oh, damn, that's it.
I remember walking out to UFC 3. What it was, yeah.
Yes. That's all you remember?
Yeah, no, I remember everything.
Have you played it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember everything. It wasn't like a flash to me. I remember everything clearly.
All right, fair enough.
It just hurt though. Motherfucker, it hard.
All right, we're going to take a quick break and come back. We're supposed to have Daymeond Molina in the building, in the Warriors Den with the boys. We're waiting for him to come in. In the meantime, we're also going to talk about the fiasco that went down in San Diego at Viajas Casino. Can you do that one dance thing? That thing?
I'm not coordinated enough, to be honest. I'm not coordinated.
I'm trying to find somebody that's coordinated to do that dance.
Daymeond.
I mean, we can. Daymeond will probably do it.
Can Daymeond do it?
I don't probably.
Dude, he better. I'm gonna. Hey, dude, he has to do the coming right through here.
Yeah.
Only here live with the Ducross Brothers Sports Wars. We'll be right back.
You're now listening to the Sports Wars with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live.
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. On my side, as always, my brother, Sean Ducross. Sean, we have an incredible show for everybody that's tuning into us right now. It is Fight Week out here in IE, and we have in the building, in the Warriors Den, we have Larry Sosa, that's off to the side of the stage now, because in his place, we have Daymeond Molina in the building. Now, he slides into Larry Sosa's seat. Seriously, my dude? Seriously?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Those are all yours?
Yeah, those are all
like,
mine.
none of those are fake?
Nope.
Every one of those are real?
Every one of them.
How does anybody want to line up to fight you?
Right.
Like, if I'm seeing a dude stretched out, arm to arm, wingspan, full of medals, I'm like, dude, nope, I pass. I'm like, yo, where's the exit door? There? Okay, cool, I'm out.
Yeah, man.
How many medals is that?
I don't know. We tried counting them, and then I got tired, so I just stopped. But,
okay. He got tired of counting his own medals. I would say his arms got heavy, and then they dropped, and that's why he lost count, but... You are fighting on May 12th in Ontario for I.E Fight Showdown.
Yeah.
What's your emotions going through your head right now leading up to this fight?
Nothing really, man. I'm not worried about it. I'm not cutting any weight, so just keeping my mind clear so I don't get, I'm trying to, don't let it get into your head. Don't get nervous.
Wait, you're not cutting weight?
Nope.
You're at weight?
Yep. Yeah, because I just got a wrestling season, and then I've started training.
So we got Larry Sosa that wants to cut all the way down to 125, 130, which he's walking around right now at 150. You're not even cutting weight. So there's the door, and I'm making my exit, right? Because if he has that many jiu-jitsu titles, the guy literally has no shot standing in front of him. He's not making weight. He's fresh. He's hungry. Dude, that does not bode well for Bryce Ewing to standing across against a kid that decorated,
hey, Larry Sosa,
that hungry.
You getting a catch weight at 130, 135. I'm looking at Molina. You want a barn burner and a knock 'em, drag 'em out fight?
Not trying to catch a body.
Only here on the Ducross Brothers, the Sports Warriors in the Warriors Den. Daymeond Molina, you, my friend, are a decorated jiu-jitsu practitioner. How do you think this fight's going to end for you May 12th?
Hopefully with the win. Just playing smart, man. Just playing it smart. Don't get into bad positions. You know, just do what I do. Wrestle, some jiu-jitsu. That's about it.
How long do you have a strong background in wrestling?
I don't. This was my first year wrestling. This last year, my junior year, was my first year wrestling. I did pretty good. Made it a Masters. So we'll see. I got one more year, my senior year, trying to make it a state.
So there's a lot of talk in the MMA community that, and I guess you could start it. It said that it started last week when Dylan Dennis was on Bellator, and he talked highly about grappling versus MMA, and grapplers not getting the credit they deserve against MMA fighters. What do you feel being what I guess you can safe to assume is a true grappler? What is your thought process going against a guy that is an MMA expert, I guess you could say?
Well, I mean, I started off with just grappling, so I have a lot of respect for it. But I feel like you can't turn a fight into a grappling match, really, because a lot of refs don't really see a fight as, oh, this guy's attacking from the bottom. He just sees the punches the guy on top is throwing. The guy is getting ground and pounded. Even if he's, you know, defending and blocking those punches, it still looks bad for you. So that's why I can't really, I don't like to grapple too much in fights or be on bottom.
So you're kind of the new breed. I guess you could say the new breed. The grappler that's like, you know what, let's just go where the fight's going to go and not get out of my game plan.
Yeah, basically.
Do you already have a game plan in your head right now coming into this fight?
I mean, yeah and no. I like to stand up for a little bit, you know, fill it out. But that's usually what I say, and then it turns into a wrestling match or a jiu-jitsu thing.
You know, I look at the guy, I get hit, I realize, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and just submit the guy.
Yeah.
That's basically how that one works. I give him a shot, I give him the benefit of the doubt, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to rip off a limb.
Yeah. You see that? Yeah.
Edgar's over here trying to keep a straight face, and he can't even keep a straight face.
No.
Like, this is where we're talking about, like, the mindset between Larry Sosa and Edgar just could kind of mesh. Because this is where he should have been stoic. And he's over here giggling at everything. And apparently Larry Sosa thinks it's funny, too. He's giggling over there, too. Sorry, Molina. Apparently they think you're hilarious right now with Sean, so.
It's all right. We'll see who's funny when we're at the gym.
You said you can't lay hands on him.
Now they really want to go back to the gym and test this theory out. We may need to take our show back to their gym to see what happens.
Let's do it.
We're stocking all three of them back to the gym, see who's carrying. Oh my goodness.
Team Iron Man, if you guys want to go, come through.
There you go. So, May 12th, Showdown. Daymeond Molina is making his debut against Bryce Ewing. Edgar Martinez making his debut at I.E Fight Night. Just one of the many few fighters that are coming across I.E Fight Night as debuters, or crossing over from pancration, which is the little guys fighting, stepping up into the big boys game, and cross it over to MMA. So again, like we mentioned before when we were just kind of shooting the, you know what, on just before the show started, was that grassroots. I.E has a vision and they have a game plan. And that game plan is coming to fruition right here, right now on our show. Daymeond Molina, Edgar Martinez, Larry Sosa, so many other kids. Yeah, there you go. You want to talk about a crazy fight? Look at this. You tell me.
That's my boy Blue.
Right? This was probably the craziest fight.
Everybody was like, oh.
Dude, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. was there.
Dude, we're talking about because he wants to go down to like one. He's attempting
Amateur 135. Let's just
right. He says that
we'll give you that one. So.
He wants to fight pro at 125. He's looking over at you like, I don't know what you're talking about. See?
He's gonna die.
Right there you go, Molina. You're gonna die.
He's not gonna make that cut.
You're gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. But yeah, we were talking about Larry Sosa and his hands because he doesn't give enough credit to his own ability inside that cage. Because granted, he did not win, but we were talking about that. There was one punch that literally, I still have embedded in my head that you heard a crack.
Yeah.
All the way into the audience, and we're just trying to figure out how the dude's still standing. And he gives himself no credit for his hands.
That's definitely one of the things, being an opponent, being a friend since freshman year of high school, playing football with him, wrestling with him, everything like that. He's always been one of those more humble guys. He's never been like those outspoken, hey, come watch this, Myself, I'm a little bit more talkative, but he's more about action. I'm just going to go in. I'm going to do what I got to do. If I knock him out, he's going to sleep, promise. But he's not going to sit there and be like, it's going to happen. He's going to say, it is what it is. Cage is going to close. We're going to handle business. So that's always been his mentality. So that's one thing about being his friend. I can say true and true, that's who he is. He's definitely a humble person, though.
I like fighters' mentalities because it's the strangest thing I've ever seen. I swear, when they get locked in the cage, it's like two animals getting ready to go at it, and you don't know what the outcome's going to be. It's like rolling a dice and saying, hey, let's find out what's going to happen. And then some people you see literally the switch kick on, and you're like, oh, things just got real. Then you see the switch kick on, and you're like, why is he in the cage? You literally can see the transition of a fighter when they step into the cage of what you're going to get and what the outcome's going to be.
And there's a prime example of that. There's a guy that just took a short notice fight on this card named Sean Horner. He's known, at least we've known of him because he fight on non-sanctioned cards, and well, you know how we feel occasionally towards non-sanctioned cards. And we'll get to the KOTC's BS. Trust me, I ain't letting that die. But we're going to get to that soon, right? Edgar's like, our taglines cross the line, and I'm going to do it later. Trust me on that one. But Sean Horner is taking a fight on 1.5 weeks' notice to take this fight, but he has so much anxiety that he's trying to break through his comfort zone, so he doesn't care about how quick he takes a fight because he's looking to try to overcome his fear of crowds. So, and he feels like that the more fights he gets, the more that he could try to put it in the back of his head. And sometimes to me, I'm like, man, I don't know. I know you have a phobia, but taking a fight in 1.5 weeks out, and you're fighting a tough guy, and you don't have a lot of skill to go behind what you're actually trying to do. It makes me worried about a fighter's mindset if you're going in like that.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I wouldn't do it. I know the nerves are always going to be there. The first time actually I met Lorenz Larkin.
And you pointed off to the side because Lorenz Larkin just arrived in the building.
Yeah. I don't know if he remembers this, but I actually sold him and his grandfather a TV when I used to work at Walmart. So it was a while back. It was a while back. I remember watching his fights and I seen it.
Wait, was this at Circuit City?
No. Back at Walmart, and I remember I asked him, I was like, how are those nerves going to be, man? Like, because I'm trying to get into the game myself. And he's like, honestly, they're always going to be there. They just get a little bit easier with each fight. So with, old dude taking a fight on 1.5 weeks notice, I don't think it's the best idea for the nerves because he's going to be in there. Excuse my language, everyone, but he's probably shitting his pants. And he's going to be just like in the green room kind of doing this whole thing. And I mean, I wouldn't do it, but to each their own.
Yeah, right? It's one of those things that it's a fine line of what you feel comfortable with doing versus what you don't feel comfortable with doing. I mean, there's times that even doing interviews that we do now, it's like, no, I don't want to do it. Or I can't think of interviewing that top fighter that fights for either Bellator or UFC or whoever it may be. And it's like, no, I can't do it. And then when they say yes, it's like, oh, this is really happening. Oh, okay, let's buckle down. I still have those moments. So it's like I can relate kind of to what Sean's thinking. So it could be one of two things. It could either be bad in the sense that your nerves get the best of you, just like the nerves could get the best of you in an interview. it just can go so many different ways. But that's the unique thing about the fight game. Again, that's the unique thing about the mentality that fighters have to compete at this level, to compete inside that cage. Because you got to have a heart of stone to fight and get punched in the face. Or in your case, Daymeond Molina, to snap somebody's limb.
Yeah, man. Dude.
He's going to walk out with an arm just holding it.
I was just going to say that, like, he should start having, like, a little glass case of limbs.
We're going to hear in the background of Mortal Kombat saying, "Finish him!" And then here's the limb.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, I was thinking more of Scorpion, get over here, and just drag him over to him, snap a limb, and done.
Yeah.
That's the way that I was thinking about this fight. But we're going to go to a break. That's Daymeond Molina, Edgar Martinez. We're going to be at the show May 12th, Showdown in Ontario, Riverside County. Dude, it's going to be crazy. Lorenz, Larkin, David Bramlette putting on a hell of a card. We got amateurs, Croatian fighters transitioning over to MMA. Lorenz, Larkin, David Bramlette. Yes, David Bramlette, we are dragging you onto the show, whether you like it or not.
Where's Pooh Bear?
Right? Where's Pooh Bear? I just need a jar of honey. We'll bring him out. Lorenz Larkin's like, what? Yeah, he'll know what the story is here soon. We'll bring him on, and we'll talk about May 12th.
Just know I'm the innocent bystander in all this.
Yes.
Just the innocent bystander.
But here at the Ducross Brothers, it's all about we cross the line. It doesn't matter what we do, what we talk about. We keep it 100%. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick break. Come on back. Join us on IELiveTV.com, on Facebook, on YouTube. You can get us, catch us anywhere. We'll be right back. You're now listening to the Sports Wars with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live. You're now listening.
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are the Ducross Brothers Sports Warriors. Local amateur MMA talk, pro, you name it. We give you our own take, our own spin on it. In the meantime, I'm Tristan Ducross. This is my brother, Sean Ducross. And the man behind
Or the man.
IE Fight Night, May 12th. IE Fight Night in general.
The man.
The man.
Lorenz, Larkin,
David Bramlette.
a.k.a. Mr. Pooh Bear.
Man, I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. Come in that shit again, you're gonna get smacked on live TV.
Welcome, guys, to the show. We have
Thank
a couple of your big-time fighters in the building, with Daymeond Molina making his debut. We got Edgar Martinez making his debut. Larry Sosa, like I told him, you were sitting right next to me watching that fight. Like, that main event fight was absolutely incredible from start to finish.
Yes.
What do you expect to see out of these two? Are they going to be able to capture that same kind of moment you think that Larry Sosa did?
Yeah, definitely. I think, especially Daymeond Molina, you know, he's coming experience from Pancration. He's got years of fighting, you know. So he's going to overcome those little jitters you get from your debut, you know. Edgar, he's coming from, you know, camps that just train. So it's going to be crazy. These guys, Larry, all of them, if we just keep them going, they'll be on the pro shows soon enough.
See, that's the interesting point, because you said on the pro shows soon. We talked about the kind of the grassroots of mixed martial arts, that a lot of people don't have that kind of idea, and it seems like you two have that kind of vision, that you guys are building something bigger than what a lot of people are seeing right now.
But
So
you got a lot of fighters that are on this that are decorated, that have competed at high levels. Daymeond Molina, Mika Carpenter, the list goes on. You guys got a who's who of amateur fighters that not a lot of people know about, but yet you guys do. Was that the mentality of trying to create your guys' promotion and seeing, oh, well, this person has fought competitively at this level, and said, you know what, I wonder if they want to take the next step? How did the approach come into looking for all these unique fighters?
Well, I think the big thing for us is you have two different types of fighters, especially in amateur. You have fighters that really pursuing this, and then some fighters that just want to do this so it's a conversation piece. And it's like that in pro too, you know, and you have the guys, because with amateur, guys fall off. And I'm starting to notice a lot more being on the promoter side of things. Some amateur fighters just fall off with some baby stuff happening too. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is, you know, anywhere from a sore pinky toe to little things like that, you know? And then you have guys like we're talking about, that these guys train all the time. You know what I mean? They know the process. They train on injuries, you know, small injuries. I'm not talking about big injuries. I'm talking about injuries that you can fight on no matter what. If you're 100% in a fight, then you didn't train right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what it really boils down to. We're trying to focus on the people who really want to be there, and that's not going to pull out because of a dumb injury. You know, to me, a sore pinky or some stuff like that, and I could say it, you know, and that's why I tell you fighters, like, no, dude, that's not an excuse, because I do the same thing you do. So if I could fight with a hurt pinky, you know.
That's like saying you woke up and you had a headache from a hangover and said, oh, you know what, I can't go.
Exactly. If you only knew some of the stuff we hear, man, it's ridiculous.
And usually when I get like a request like that to say, hey, I can't fight for this reason, I'm not going to pursue it. Okay, thanks, maybe next time. You know, I'm not going to call you a bad name or this or that. You know, it's, even though we lost this because of this reason, you know, now I got to scramble, or Lorenz and I got to scramble to try to figure this out. But to me, it's like, okay, well, we didn't want you anyway. If you're not going to be and put 100%, like we're putting our 100%, you know, I'm getting done here and I'm driving to Arizona for my job. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing his work. Like, we're putting 100% to this promotion, so we expect the competitors or fighters. I don't know why I always say that. I always refer to fighters as competitors or competition. I think it's maybe the grassroots from the kids or what have you.
Because, I mean, essentially, even though you're a fighter, you're still a competitor.
Right. But you know, if you're not going to put 100% into training and promoting yourself, why should we have you on our fight card? You know, why would we put you out there? You know, you want to be on there too. We want you to be on there. We don't need you. We want you on there. And that's the same thing. Like, we want fighters that are going to want to be on there. So if you're not, then, you know, don't waste your time or our time, pretty much, you know.
It's not fair to the fighters either.
Exactly.
You have fighters that are, you know, training specifically for you for a whole camp, and then we get these types of things week of the fight.
Yeah.
And it's not so much pro. When guys are pro, they'll take kind of last minute fights because they've already been training. And you know what I mean, and they're always staying on top of it. Not so much for amateurs, but when these things happen, it's nearly impossible. Yeah. It's like really hard for us to find somebody who's in shape, who can make weight the week of an amateur fight. You know, it's too hard. Yeah. You know, so it just sucks more for us because now we have to tell the guy who we know who's been training, who we know that's been real vocal with us, you know, and we ask them a question, they return the question right back, you know, and they really want to fight, we got to tell them, hey, man, your opponent pulled out. We'll try to find you somebody, but, you know, it sucks.
I think from my aspect, it's like it would be hard for me to be in your guys' shoes to go and tell a fighter, oh, hey, by the way, X, Y, and Z pulled out.
Yeah.
You know what I do is I screenshot. If I'm talking to a coach, I'll be like, look, I just got this. You know,
You handle it. You handle
got
it.
this. I'm gonna work on it. You know, we'll try to figure this out. But I'm just letting you know this is what I got.
So if you want to go find the kid at the other camp and just beat him up on the side, you got it.
But you know, I try to communicate too. That's the thing is I communicate throughout the whole fight card process. You know, we try to do a show every 2 to 3 months. Like, we're already matching for July 28th, Ontario. We're already matching for that. You know, we're just contact I.E Fight Night on Instagram.
I.E.
You know, but I try to communicate throughout the whole process. Hey, how things are going? You know, training good? Are you feeling good? You know, a week, 2 weeks after we already booked the fight. You know, 2 months before that, and then I'm continuously following up to make sure that everything else, you know, is looking good, so I don't have these last minute pullouts. You know, it's hard to, like Lorenz said, to recover, because who wants to take a last minute fight? Nobody really does. People do, and we appreciate that.
Like 2 on your card this.
Yeah, 2 this week.
Yep.
You know, and I mean, Sam Alvey is. That's all I can say, man.
Right?
You gotta love when Sam Alvey can get his guys to stand up and go to bat at at the drop of a dime.
Anytime. Millennial guys, same thing. You know, we'll contact them. Yeah, no doubt, we're there. Team Ironman. You know, there's a bunch of gyms out there. Victory MMA. I mean, those guys. The coach over there. Oh man, it's unbelievable the amount of dedication that they have. You know, and they're always welcome. You know what I mean? The certain gyms are just like the way that the coach does is just amazing. How prepared and the way that they treat their fighters. And I don't even realize that, or the fighters realize what their coaches actually do for them. You know, that's the thing.
I think in time they'll start to see what their coaches really do for them. Right now, I think they're just more appreciative of everything they can get right now.
Right.
But what do you guys expect to get out of May 12th? What are some of the things that you guys are looking forward to this fight card?
Compared to what happened at February 24th versus now, what are you guys looking towards in terms of growth, thought process that you guys did then versus what you guys are doing now?
I mean, we're always looking to do better. You know, can I look back and see if there's anything that we couldn't do better? Maybe, I guess, but I don't see it. You know, like Lorenz and I, we always we communicate daily. I mean, sometimes too much, you know, but that's what we need to do in order to make sure that everything is up to par. You know, it's you got 33 fights, 43 fights. You know, that's a lot. That's a lot of communicating between coaches, parents, fighters, getting all the tickets out, getting everything. I mean, 43 fights on a fight card is crazy.
I mean, still the fact that you're a couple days out, May 12th, Saturday, and you still got 16 fights on the card?
Yeah.
That just goes to show your guys' communication and the level of heart you guys have of wanting to make this the best. And 16 fights, you don't see that too often going into the fight week.
Right.
You normally see, you go from 16 and now you're down to 10.
Right.
Then you're down to 8, and you're just watching it slowly slip.
Yeah. Well, I think that's one thing. We actually go back to that question is follow up, and I was like, me and him both were like following up on everybody. You know, making sure that everything is going good this time. And when it wasn't, I think there was a couple we were like, you know what, dude, let's just pull them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just something just ain't pull. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want no last minute pullout. And to me, when we were communicating with them, it felt like a last minute pullout. So we're just like, no, we're not going to put that opponent in jeopardy either. You know, expecting to fight and then they pull out.
But you guys have 14 fighters on this card that are debuting. What was the thought process behind that? Like giving them a platform, or just thinking that these were going to be great matchups and that's how you put them together?
Well, you know, a lot of it is when we put our announcements out for the show, and I think a lot of it is people coming to our previous show and coaches coming to our previous show. And once when we're putting out that we're having another show, these coaches are right on us. You know what I mean? Hey, we need our guy on the show. Hey, we need our girl on the show. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of it is just from them coming to the show and experiencing it and wanting to be a part of it. You know, and that's what it's gonna be. You know, it's gonna be repeated fighters, and it's gonna be, you know, I was gonna say pro debuters.
Not yet.
Yeah. For and debuters, you know, because that's what it's all about. You know, it's bringing these people in, building them, and getting them ready for the next level. You know.
I think I said it on the commentary on your guys' last show about a debut fighter, which was I like watching debuters because I like to sit back and go, okay, you know what? That guy's going to be a stud. That guy's going to be the next guy that we need to watch out for. Mm-hmm. We got one of them right here. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's what unique that when I was like 14 debuters, I was like, dude, this is going to be epic because these guys are going to be here to put on a show. Mm-hmm. They want to bang, they want to throw down and make sure you remember who they are. Yeah. Or if not, you're going to remember for what they're not.
Mm-hmm. But you also have to put in the play too that a lot of these debuters are amateur MMA debuters, but they've had fights before, you know. So they've competed before. They competed in pancration. They've competed in kickboxing events. You know, this is just their first amateur MMA show. You know, because either depending on age with Daymeond, you know, he's been fighting, you know. He's got some
says the armful of medals. Go ahead, throw up that photo. Throw the photo.
I mean, he turned 18 April 22nd?
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Like he said he lost count counting the medals. I think it was more because he started getting too heavy. So he couldn't keep track of them. He was leaning like a teapot.
He said he got tired, so he's got no cardio. There you go, Bryce.
Yeah, so you know, a lot of these
he's not even weight cutting. Did you know that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He fights at 25.
Okay, but I feel bad for Bryce now.
He's taking this fight at 35.
Bryce is a stand-up guy, ready to throw down.
It's going to be a good match.
And you have a guy that's not even cutting weight, like I'm good.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a good match.
I'm going to train all day. You can weight cut. I'll see you at fight night.
But yeah, it'll be good. You know, a lot of these guys have experience.
Yeah.
Before, you know, they're not just green coming into the cage. So.
Oh yeah, like debuters that we have, Loveth and Mika Carpenter.
Yep.
I mean, Loveth is like a kickbox champion, you know, in Nigeria, I think it was. And then same with Mika. I mean, she's traveled the globe to fight, you know. So
training with Angela Lee out there.
Yeah, I mean, she just got back training camp with Angela Lee. She's from Arizona. They're coming from Arizona to compete for us. So, I mean, we can't be more thankful for them doing what all they have to do to come compete for free. You know what I mean? So. I mean, I can't say enough. I mean, thank you.
And you guys have what? Four women fights on this card?
Yeah, we had like 6 at one time. Yeah.
So thank you for bringing the women back.
Oh man, I love women
because it seemed like there was a trend up for a while that there was a lot of women fighters in the amateur circuit that wanted to fight, and then it seemed like there was a taper off, and then all of a sudden we see now you guys come in with 4, and it's just like the women are back.
Yeah.
It's like
is it Bellator?
It's like where have they been for so long?
Well, if you look at the pancration card, I mean, you look at the pancration card, you'll see.
Hi, may I speak to Lorenz, please?
That just sounded. That sounded like that could be a conversation completely different. And he put the mic up too.
Hey, what
that was so the wrong conversation. Mic goes away.
Kelly, don't look.
Phone goes away.
I don't know.
We got your test results back from that.
Well, we were talking about the ladies fighting.
But if you look at the pancration card, I mean, you got huge pancration fighters, man. Women fighters, well, girl fighters, but that are soon to be women. I mean, Jaylene Martinez, Trista, Regina Owana, you know, just all these girl fighters that are just coming up, and I love to put them on the guy. Shania Carlson, just wait until you see her. Jessica Harrell, that's another like sleeper. Nobody knows about her, and I guarantee you when you see her compete, you're like, wow. It's Shania and Jessica Harrell at 14 years old. These girls are going to put on a show like you'll never believe.
See?
Guarantee it.
Grassroots.
Right.
Pancration.
Yeah.
David Bramlette.
It starts
Lorenz
from
Larkin.
somewhere, and it has to end somewhere. And it seems like that you guys have a clear direction and a clear vision with what you guys are putting on. And I can't wait to be a part of you guys on the continued growth. And I.E Fight Night, May 12th, going down in Ontario. Showdown. Just a couple boys. Come back in here real quick before we go to break and get out of here. Come back in here, guys.
Another thing, too, before we leave.
You're not leaving because I'm talking about KOTC. You're staying.
Okay, because I want to give some of these amateur fighters, some of these pro fighters some gold. So I got a little thing that I got to.
Okay, then you're staying. You're staying. We're going to get to Lorenz Larkin right after this break. David Bramlette, you can sit here, too. I could get your opinion on the KOTC BS, too, because trust me, we're talking about that here coming up next. We're the new Cross Brothers Sports Warriors. We got Daymeond Molina, Edgar Martinez, Larry Sosa, Lorenz Larkin, David Bramlette in the Warriors Den. Yes, it's going down in the IE. We'll be right back. You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live. You're now listening to the Sports Warriors.
Hello, I'm Lyle Murdoch of IE Live TV. Have you ever had an idea or dreamt about producing your own show? Or maybe you just have an event that you'd like to make available online? Then contact us here at IE Live TV. We are using the latest technology in live streaming and top quality video equipment in our productions. Servicing all audio and video needs, our systems are compact, wireless, and completely mobile, so our presence is barely noticeable. Here at IE Live TV, we're doing high quality audio and video productions at a fraction of the cost of other production studios. To find us, just go to www.ielivetv.com. or give us a call at 866-831-5737. IE Live TV for quality live video streaming.
All right, everybody, we are back. We are the Sports Warriors. I'm Tristan Ducross. Along my side, as always, is my brother, Sean Ducross. Dude, incredible show. We had Daymeond Molina on the show, Edgar Martinez, Larry Sosa, David Bramlette, Lorenz Larkin. Apparently, Lorenz Larkin is going to come back and sit and talk to us about...
He has something to get off his chest?
Yeah, he has something to get off his chest. So we're going to give him that platform so he can get whatever he wants off his chest. And then I'm going to also pick his brain on what the hell's going on with KOTC, King of the Cage, and Phil Baroni. So...
without further ado, let's bring back Lorenz Larkin.
Right.
All right, so Lorenz Larkin.
You gotta fill me in because I don't know what happened with.
Oh, don't worry, this guy will fill you in straight up. Because apparently it was chaos in San Diego.
So how do you want to start? Do you want to talk about whatever's on your chest, or do you want me to bring up the King of the Cage thing?
Okay, let me say that, and then we can get into. Okay, so.
He's like, what is going on here?
Get comfortable. Okay.
So the thing is
we about to get real serious.
This whole like promoter thing, with me and David, and David's heard it a lot too. So I always get this thing like, oh, we're amateur and we fight for free and blah blah blah, and even like pros that complain about the money they make as far as like on the regional circuit. So the thing is what I've noticed is a lot of these guys don't have any work ethic. Like they don't hustle. For the thing of it is you have to have something that you can bargain with, right? So and I only talk about these things because I've done these things, you know, and I've experienced all these things, and I've got better off of these things. So like, these fighters complain that the fighters that, you know, in the regional circuit, they only get paid chump change, whatever, and they make no money. But then again, they don't offer anything. They don't have bargaining tools. They don't sell tickets. They don't do anything, you know. So at the end of the day, yeah, say if you're amateur, you don't sell anything. Yeah, you're fighting for free, but also the promoter's paying for you to fight, which a lot of these guys don't understand, you know. And, you know, because we have to pay for insurance for you guys. We have to pay per bout for you guys for the fees, you know what I mean? So the thing of it is, what I'm trying to get at is, when I was amateur, I had it in my head, okay, I need to sell tickets, right? I'm not saying everybody has to sell tickets. I just like money, right? So I sold tickets. And when I turned pro, I did the same thing. But that's what got me to the point where when I was in the regional circuit, I'm making $4,500, $5,000 a fight. You know what I mean? And you guys will figure out. In the pros, in regional circuit out here, you are not getting nowhere near that.
No.
Right? And the thing of it is, I had a following. I grinded my boys about coming to my fights. You know what I mean? I grinded ticket sales. I got a t-shirt sponsor that only charged me like $3 a shirt. I would buy like 150 shirts. You know, I would so say if a ticket was $50, I told my boys it was $60. You know what I mean? And when they came, they're like, dude, it's $50. I'm like, but you get a shirt. I like, you get a shirt with my name on it, bro. And everybody's going to have a shirt. You know, so these are the things that, you know, you have to have this in your head. But those type of things where my following comes to the fights, I'm selling a bunch of tickets. Now I have bargaining room with, I could bargain with the promoter. I can be like, dude, like, nah, I want to get paid, you know, something reasonable. Nothing some stupid, like I want $2,000, you know, but something reasonable that's more than what the other guys are getting paid. Mm-hmm. And I have bargaining tools. Because if not, then I'll go somewhere else. But you also, you know, so these are the things that these fighters have to get in their minds, you know, that have bargaining tools. You can't just, all these guys are like on this Conor McGregor thing, like, oh, no, I'm going to ask for all this. He can ask for that because he brings stuff to the table. If you bring nothing to the table, there's nothing for you, you know. And I try to tell these guys, I don't know, they just don't hear me sometimes. But I'm just like, hustle, man. Hustle and bring something to the table.
That's what it's all about nowadays. You have to. Nothing's going to be given to you on a platter. You want something, prove it, and work for it. And you brought up Conor McGregor, and that brings the things that the new generation feels like the way to get to the next level is they got to talk. They got to speak. But that's not how Conor McGregor got there. No. He got there because, yeah, you know what, he spoke well, but he also competed well. Yeah. And then the fight fans wanted to see him. So once he got to that level, it became, like you said, bargaining chip.
These guys have to understand that when Conor came on the scene, he already had a hype about him, right? And it's not all about this. Because you have to be to a certain level to even get this. If you talk and this, it don't mean nothing, you know? So when Conor got on the scene, you have to understand this. He has a huge following in Dublin, in all those areas, and you know what I mean? So say if I fight, right? Boom, I fight, and I'm like, show us the demographic viewership from where I come from. And when that comes into play, I'm like, look what happens when I fight. Now look at the demographic before my fight, from the show before that. What's the demographic from out there? Now what is it when I fight? That's huge. You're talking about millions of people viewing in to watch one man fight from a certain area that he comes from.
It's just like when you fought at Pachanga.
Yeah, in a sense.
In a sense,
I got millions
not
from Riverside. Yeah, I don't think we're like only got 1 million.
But you're talking about the demographic, and you're talking about like anybody else on that show probably wouldn't have drawn decent. You drew decent because of your following and what you had to bring to that table. That goes hand in hand. It's like if you're fighting, bring your people. Yeah. If you got a support system, bring them. They'll show up.
Bring them. Hit up one of these T-shirt companies. Get them as a sponsor. They'll be more than happy to make you some type of shirts with a crazy discount on them, as long as they put their logo on. Come up with something that you always sport, that have all your people sport the same shirt. It stands out so much in a crowd, and it shows that you have a following. These are just things. I'm just throwing you guys gold. You guys better catch it, man. I'm telling you.
See, only here on the Ducross Brothers Sports Wars, here with Lorenz, Larkin, only here we get different avenues. We can take this show literally everywhere. One of our boys said, I swear, sometimes watching you guys is like a talk show, like an Ellen DeGeneres talk show, because you guys talk about all different subjects and topics within combat sports. And again, here we go. You're talking about gold and stuff like that, and I'm going to go right to King of the Cage over the weekend.
Okay.
And King of the Cage, they showed up at Viejas, normally always out in Ontario. One reason why I have certain people that have unsanctioned. I don't have anything problem with the promoters that do that. If they want to swing that way, that's them. But if you have an unsanctioned and no sanctioning body on a reservation, and you throw a big time fight like that and have maybe 500 people show up, and they are all drunk, they are all belligerent,
they're all rowdy,
and you have Phil Brony, who is a egotistical, big-headed monster that deserves no light of day, gets in a verbal altercation after his fight in the casino with fans. And there's video of this on Facebook.
Was he in the cage?
Nope.
Talking on the mic, or this is outside?
That was outside.
In the casino.
In the cage, he got hit upside the head with a bottle.
With water bottles and other things were chucked into the ring, onto Phil Brony. Because Cecil Peoples, anybody that knows who Cecil Peoples are, you know? Yeah. See? That was my reaction. Cecil Peoples was the only referee the whole entire fight card. The only one inside that cage. And you could gradually start seeing his referee going down this way.
Because you're tired, you're fatigued.
He stopped Phil Brony's...
He's fatigued himself.
But he stopped the fight and awarded a victory 10 seconds into the fight for Phil Brony. And there was a 12-6 elbow that landed on the guy's back of his head. And then he proceeded to land another 2. And Cecil Peoples stopped the fight and awarded the win for TKO stoppage. And all hell literally broke loose.
You saw stories all over Facebook of people having to fight through to get to the cage. You had people talking about, I swear I saw a post somewhere on my Facebook, said that somebody thought somebody was going to get stabbed. I think it was one of our guys on Manolo, posted on his thing saying that he swore he was going to get stabbed by some lady wielding something around there. It was just like chaos. You saw everybody blowing up Facebook about this. And it's like, I knew in hindsight how bad KOTC, their mindset have been in the past. But I've never seen or heard really it being that bad. Like, I've heard Gladiator Challenge being like that bad. But I've never heard KOTC going that extreme. Or having that extreme of an event go that wrong and cause that much chaos that it's like now people are like, dude, there's no way Viejas is ever going to get a fight card back. It was that bad. Like, how do you recover from that? How do you even showcase to fight fans that they're still legit when it gets that bad?
Well, I don't know, because I mean, I'm pretty sure KOTC will survive off of that.
Because they get paid.
I think it's a bigger thing for the casino, because to even drive traffic to that casino after that, or drive traffic to that casino for a fight after that. Because that was at a casino, right?
Yeah, at the Viejas Casino, yeah.
I never think I've seen that one.
Yeah, it was outside.
Okay, so yeah, those type of things. But that's if I don't even know if they had to. I mean, they had to have security, no?
Honestly, I have no idea, but
Yeah.
I'm assuming they had security, but it was KOTC security, not security
But
for.
I mean,
So
yeah.
it's like maybe they didn't have it beefed up as much as they thought because it was a casino. It's outside. It's in San Diego. Yes, it's on a reservation. Maybe you thought we'll be good.
I mean, the thing is, you can't really cut that many corners. You know, it's like having one ref judge. I mean, I'm pretty sure there had to have been more than 10 fights.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's like having one ref, especially that ref, being older. Oh, this is the video.
There's video.
Let's see, yeah. And the thing of it is with a fighter like Phil, that will be very vocal to the crowd and stuff like that, and even on the walkout, because I'm pretty sure he probably fought a hometown guy, and so those types of things you have to beef up security when you have those type of. But about that before the fight even happens. What type of guy Phil is. That if he's fighting a hometown guy, a local guy, or a guy who has a big following, so I mean.
And that's the thing is that's why I said it's like I've never seen or heard of a KOTC fight being that bad. The only stories I've ever heard about KOTC was people don't show up.
And
occasionally
people not showing
mismatch, people not showing up. That's it. In Ontario, I'd assume they would have a sanctioning body.
They have to, yeah.
Yeah. So then to see that this one wasn't sanctioned is like, why would you? You guys never did it before. What made you want to do it now? I think that would be my only question for KOTC is why now?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know why now, but I know with going to unsanctioned events, you're not paying any fees, you're not paying for none of that stuff.
Yep.
You're just, and then I'm pretty sure at the casino, they're probably paying you because they're hoping for the overflow to come in to the casino.
Absolutely.
After the fight. So, I mean, you're saving money, but then also
It costs
you're having all this talk about.
Right?
So,
But we're done. I.E Fight Night Showdown, May 12th. It's going down in the I.E. in Ontario. If you haven't got your tickets, you're done for that one. So you should get them. Crazy fights for the night. But we are the Sports Warriors, Sean and Tristan Ducross. We do this live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us on IELiveTV.com, on Facebook Live. Hit up Sean and Tristan Ducross. We'll talk combat sports all day. Until next time, we're out. You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross. You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IELiveTV.com and Facebook Live. You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean. You're now listening to the Sports Warriors with Sean and Tristan Ducross every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You want all your local amateur MMA news? You want a new fresh take on pro MMA? This is your show every Wednesday on IE.